And literally, as soon as I was saying goodbye to Beth Level and she's walking out, I'm like, bye, Beth. See you next time. And I look down and I never pressed record on the Zoom recorder, the audio recorder. And the only sound that I had was a tiny little GoPro that was set up for the wide shot. That was the only sound that I had. And I wanted to cry.
Hey, welcome back to the Stories on Tape podcast. Might look a little different. We'll get into that in just a second. And make sure you're following us everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you're watching this, subscribe. And if you're listening to us, make sure you subscribe there as well. And now, today's storyteller, a new friend of mine that I'm very, very excited to learn a whole lot more about today. He is a videographer, a photographer, a producer, a performer, a dancer, a singer. He can do it all, is what I'm telling you. It is my new good friend, Roberto Araujo. Bobby, thank you so much for being with me today.
Josh, thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, no, thank you for having me in your gorgeous apartment. Bobby likes to go, I'm learning, a little bit over the top with things. And so he had this gorgeous setup right here in his apartment.
Listen. Everything I know about producing and television and life, maybe, I learned from Tina Fey and the book Bossy Pants, which I recommend everyone reads because it's fantastic. And one of the things she says is like, there's nothing wrong with a little showmanship.
Absolutely.
So,
and here we are. We are giving you showmanship today. Bobby, I'm so excited. So the first question I ask everyone, do you have a story that you can share with us that might tell us a little bit about who Bobby is if we've never met you before, or just like one of your favorite stories to tell?
I think one of a very defining story is how I got to New York.
Okay, yes.
Because, yes, I came here and I pursued a career as a performer, but that wasn't the first impulse. I always, as growing up, I used to watch this cartoon from maybe the 50s called Top Cat.
Okay.
We have an animation cell.
Okay, I recognize the cartoons.
We have Top Cat here.
Wow.
This is Top Cat.
There he is.
This is Top Cat, everyone. And he's the leader of a gang of cats, and they're always up to no good.
Of course.
They're always scamming someone, and they live in New York. And the music is like Gershwin-esque Rhapsody in Blues, sort of style, very New York. And I always loved that cartoon. And I was like, I think I'm going to live in New York just because of the cartoon. Cut to, I become interested in performing. And then because things happened in my life, I ended up moving here on a little bit of a whim. Okay. Not very prepared, where I had to like sleep on the streets a couple nights.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. When I came out, my mom kicked me out of her house. Okay. And I lived in Mexico for about a month on my own. And then I was like, this is it. Like, now or never. Yeah. So I did it. And a dear friend of mine that I had worked with, she was working in Mexico. She works for Disney, and I had worked for Disney. So I called her when I was here, homeless. And I said to her, can you give me a job at this gig in Mexico? Please. And like, I have nowhere to live. And she said to me, Bobby, you've made an adult decision with adult consequences. So no, you're going to stay there. And tomorrow morning, you're going to call my dad. Her dad used to live here in New York. Okay. And you're going to stay with him until you get on your feet. And that's what happened. And I feel like that defined my life in so many ways. And like not giving up, and like you made this decision, and you have to own what you know, good or bad, you need to be responsible for what you did. So I think that's very defining on my personality.
Absolutely. Okay, I love hearing people's stories of how they ended up here in the city. I've been here for almost a year. Next month, March will be a year, so very excited.
Ooh, newbie.
How does it feel to look back 25 years to like where you are now, to that person, what is that feeling like? Do you do that often, if ever?
I think I do, because you leave so much behind, and I feel like I'm very happy and very my heart feels very full with the life I've built here, with the community I've built here. And every time I try to host a dinner or a brunch with all my friends once a month.
Sure.
And every time I'm like sitting down and everyone's eating and I look around and I'm like, oh my God, to think that I came here with literally knowing nobody, and that I've created a life for myself and a life that I'm very, very happy and very proud of. So yeah, it's also wild to think that I did that on a whim. Like I just grabbed 2 suitcases and moved countries when I was 20. Like what?
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
That gives me like hives to think about that. That is.
But I feel like that's when you do it. That's when you do these things because you don't know any better, and because there's the fear factor is very little, you know?
Yes. You're 20, you're going to figure it out. You're going to you can't be hurt.
The world's your oyster.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about kind of early day Bobby. Performing was a big thing for you in lots of different ways. Tell us a little bit about how you got into that. How did you find your passion for that? And do you have a few memories or stories from your performing days?
So my performing came very natural to me. This is how old I am. There's a VHS tape of my 3rd birthday. It's like an 8-hour VHS tape. Someone set a camera in a corner and they
just
videoed the whole thing. Like no one is like, someone stops by and zooms into people, but it's just like the whole thing. And like, so it's like a brunch situation, and then it goes into the night, and there's like a magician, and there's like a clown, and then my sister. I'm the youngest of 5.
Okay.
3 sisters, 1 brother. 2 of my sisters loved like playing the girl band, kind of like like doing dances and things. Well, I had to be the vocalist of this band, right? Girl band. And so I grabbed the microphone, and you can see me in front of them as they're dancing behind me, and I'm trying to like do all the steps and with my microphone and just like, I'm not singing live. Like I'm like lip syncing all the words.
Of course.
But there's so much feeling and so much, and I feel like that love for performing and being the center of attention has always been there.
Yes.
So that's like the very early stages when you could,
this is something. This is something.
And then many years went by, and I joined the theater company, the musical theater company of my high school, which had a great reputation for musicals. Like people would come to our high school to be in the musicals.
Okay.
Yeah, it was still a thing. And back in my day, there's many people who are still in the business, are like famous actors in Mexico that came out of that theater company.
Yes.
Yeah. So I joined the theater company. I auditioned, and they were doing a production of Guys and Dolls. And that was it. That was the beginning of the end. Like everything I did was musical theater, and that's all I wanted to learn about, and that's all I wanted to listen to this day. And yeah, I did a bunch of shows with them. I immersed myself in the world, and I listened to every cast recording there was. I remember the Broadway, the LA recording of Sunset Boulevard came out in the double CD, and like I sat down in the middle of the living room listening to Glenn Close, because it had more of the dialogue than the London recording, and I just like read every word, and that's what it was with every cast recording, but like this one that had so much that the others didn't, the dialogue. Yeah, and that's how performing began for me. Yeah.
Isn't it so exciting when you do listen to a cast recording and you get the
my
dialogue
God,
parts because you see the show and you're like, oh,
Yes,
that's what's
yes, yes,
happening in
yes.
between. That's why. But yes, when you get a CD that has like spoken lines, because that doesn't happen if you're not a musical theater person. That doesn't happen a lot just because like then that gives away the show and all the things. But no, when you get those little moments, you're like, oh yes, I can have this forever. It is so nice.
And listen, I also appreciate the other experience where, because sometimes you get mad. It's like, the dance break is not included in the
Yes.
song, right?
Uh-huh.
But I feel like there's something else to be said for the composers or the arrangers, orchestrators that put something completely different out there for audiences to experience with out of context, right? I feel like that's also very commendable. And I mean, I have to tell you, this wasn't my first Broadway show.
Okay.
But the first original cast that I saw, hang on to your seats.
Right.
It was Aida with Heather Headley and Sharon Scott and Adam Pascal. And
I would yell that every chance I got. Like, yeah, I saw it. Ha ha ha. That's incredible.
if you know me, you will know that I'm obsessed with Sherry and Heather.
As you
Anything
should
they
be.
do. Anything they do, I'm like the first one there to listen to, buy it, to go see it, to encourage them. I've had the pleasure of meeting both of them, and that was a big like bucket list moment. But that cast album, to be able to experience that and then go home and listen to the CD, and it's the same, and that's exactly how it sounded, and I listened to it so much that there were a few scratches on the CD. And when I had all my CD collection, I manually went and transferred everything to Apple Music. And it transferred with the scratches. And I love it so much.
You still have this to this day, correct? On your phone?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, I will pull it up because it's amazing when Heather starts singing. It's knowing what they ask of me that scares me. It's knowing what I love it so much. It makes me very happy.
I imagine you showing that to friends and then them seeing the show and they're like, wait, this doesn't happen. Hold on. What's going on here? That's incredible.
I love it.
And the skips like by heart. You're
absolutely.
like, you can,
I don't like listening to the version without the skips,
That is incredible. And another place you've got to perform is on some cruise ships.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how is that in like relation to performing on land? Because I feel like on sea there could be some small, big differences that happen.
I think there are lots of differences and similarities, good and bad.
Okay.
I worked on cruise ships for 5 years.
Okay.
That's where I met my husband. My husband and I met on our first contract.
Okay.
Well, it was technically his second contract, but anyway, technicalities. So we met on our first contract, and then we did 5 years of cruise ships together.
Amazing.
It was great. It was great.
Ah.
But I think one of the things that I love about cruise ships is how convenient it is.
Right.
To the point that some cruise ships have the cabins for the performers backstage.
Oh.
So you're quite literally rolling out of bed and going to work. You know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Another thing that is really great is that you don't have to worry about how many people are in the audience.
It's their only option.
Yeah, but also like we're not closing. You don't have to promote the show. You don't have to do like you just show up to work and do the show and
That's it.
that's great.
Yeah.
It's so great. And similarities are like managing your voice and how much are you going you have 2 shows. You have 2 shows tonight, and then they're adding an extra show. So, like, what do I need to do to preserve my voice and my energy and peace of mind, you
Yes.
know, like your body for dancers. Yeah, I would say those are the differences, and you learn it through your contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any tips for anyone wanting to get into performing on cruise ships? Is there things they should or shouldn't do?
I think it's a great gig. It's a great gig because it's easy.
Yeah.
And you're performing. You don't have to do any side gigs. You don't have to commute. The pay's great. Now, again, I'm dating myself. I'm old. We were doing cruise ships in a time where we didn't have Instagram, right? And it was the very beginning of Facebook when we were on our like third contract.
Okay.
So that FOMO and that all those negative things that social media can create in someone's soul, we didn't have to deal with that. So now, if you're someone who needs to constantly be stimulated by that, and you need to go somewhere, like, yeah, just constant stimulation, maybe cruises are not for you, because you can't go anywhere.
Right.
You literally
are
can't.
Stuck.
You have internet, but it's, I mean, loading Facebook is like, it's
Take a walk.
so slow. Towards the end of my life on cruise ships, because you know we used to have like internet cards. There was $20 for like maybe 6 hours.
Whoa.
That's so crazy.
I do that in a day. That's crazy.
It's wild. So then it used to be, it becomes getting off the ship to use the internet, and then you're not enjoying the ports. And we made a conscious decision of like, we're not going to turn into that.
Yes.
And then actually I left ships after those 5 years, and my husband stayed on ships for 7 years. So we did long distance for 7 years.
Okay.
And we made a conscious decision of, I didn't want him to be in like Italy. We're in Rome today, and him trying to go find an internet cafe to sit down and talk to me. Like, I didn't want him to do that, because like, what's the point? Just like, we'll talk when we talk, and it's fine.
We're
it's
fine.
So yeah, going back to the original question, is if you audition for ships, know that you're going to have a great gig, and you're not going to have to, be gigging,
3 part-time jobs. Yeah.
To make ends meet. But also know that you are in this for the long haul, like you're 6 months, 9 months, depending how long the contract is. But that's a downside. Like, you are kind of disconnected from the world.
Yeah.
Okay. Which can be good, can be bad.
Yes. Some
Depends
people,
who you ask.
there are days where I'm like, it'd be nice to not have
this
thing.
Exactly.
It would be so nice.
Yeah.
But other days it's nice. No, I get it. Okay. So you do cruise ships for 5 years, and then is moving to New York after that, before that, in between?
That was like in between. So
Okay.
I moved to New York September of 2000.
Okay.
I started ships in May of 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then you're done with cruises, you come back to New York, and then do you hit the ground running? Do you have a job? I moved here with no job. My husband had a job, and I was like, well, it's time. Let's figure it out. So what was that move back to New York like for you?
I did not have a job.
Okay.
I was ready to be back in New York. I started bartending.
Yes.
With Theater Refreshment Company. I don't know if the company still exists, but they're the Schubert.
Okay.
The Schubert Theaters.
I know them. Yes.
Yeah.
I know them well
You've heard of
now.
them?
Yes.
Yeah. They have a couple of,
one or
couple
two.
theaters.
Yeah.
And I started bartending front of the house, and that was a great gig. Started auditioning, and I started doing lots of regional theater. I think the last bartending show was La Cage at the Longacre.
Okay.
So with Douglas Hodge, the one that came from the West End.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. It was great. It was a great gig. Met great people that I'm still in touch with,
Yes.
and I still see around, and ushers that I still see around. The
They're
people
the
at the
best.
Schubert, because I was at Spam a lot.
Yes.
Not this recent revival, the Schubert revival. Sorry, the Schubert original production. But yeah, there's some great people that are still around. So yeah, started auditioning, started doing regional gigs. I was very fortunate on the things that I got to do. I got to do the international tour of fame.
Yes. Tell me a little bit about what was that like for you? My husband did the international tour of Hamilton for a year. And so, and I understand long distance, currently still doing it. So what was that like for you guys, and where all did you get to go?
Well, we went to China.
Okay.
We were in China for 3 months.
Okay.
And we did like seven or nine cities in China.
Okay.
So we rehearsed here for a little bit, and then we went to, I can't remember what the cities were. I used to be able to list them all. It's been too long. But then we went to China, Tech, the show, which I feel like Tech was like a million years.
I feel like no matter what show you're doing, it will always,
It felt like a long time. And then we started performances, and then we took the show around China, and it was really great. It was difficult with Brad because now I'm like on the other side on a completely different schedule. But when you go into this, you have to make the decision: are we in it or are we not?
right.
And it's fine if we're not, but like we need to
make
commit.
that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people always ask me about when me and my husband, how do you stay together, and what's the secret? I was like, well, that you need to want to stay together.
Right.
Like if you want to, then you make it work. And if you don't,
You don't.
know.
When people, a few people have asked me recently, I say like, oh, he's on tour. And I think for us, the number one thing is talk every day, whether it's a minute phone call, it's a 30-minute phone call, it's just texting. Like, I think that for us, that is what has worked really well. But also not talking consistently throughout the day. I try to do just a quick text to remind myself of the story that I want to tell him or whatever happened. So then when we do have our phone call, we actually have things to talk about instead of like, oh, we've talked all day and now I don't have anything new to tell you.
Yes, exactly. And I think you said something that is key for us, because not everything works for everyone.
Correct.
So there's some people who need to constantly be on the phone, and Brett is on the quiet side.
Okay.
So he doesn't really need to be on the phone all the time, Yeah. Going back to the beginning, I'm remembering the first long distance. He went on vacation while I was on the ship.
Okay.
And this is when I knew he was a keeper. He used to set up his alarm in Australia. He's Australian.
Okay.
So he was in Australia. I was in Tampa. And he used to set up his alarm at like 3 a.m. to meet up on like MSN Messenger.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good man right there,
Yeah.
Bobby. You got a good one.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a keeper. 22 years later.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so sweet.
It's very sweet. It's very sweet.
Yes. Okay.
So
So
wait.
Yes.
No.
China. Yeah.
We completely got sidetracked. Yes, China was great. And I have to say, it was an incredible cast. And my cast was the one and only Caroline Bowman. Oh. Is a superstar.
Yes.
And I adore her, and she's incredibly talented. And from then, I think she had just graduated.
Whoa.
She was going to graduate.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember. I'm old. That's the
Again.
point of the story. Is I'm very old. I've been around, But it was an incredible cast. Jake Ottmark was in the cast, and Roddy Kennedy, and a bunch of people who have gone to do incredible things. Roddy I think he's still in Hamilton. Jake was doing Shucked and did Kinky Boots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
Talentless
So good.
nobody,
That we all now know. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. And so then another thing I've come to learn about Bobby, photography, videography is a big part of your life now. Where we grabbed coffee a few weeks ago, and I know a little bit about how the photography started. But like, what drew you to it? What made you want to start photographing?
So I always been interested in visual arts.
Okay.
Right? Like anything from lighting design and video editing and photography. And when was it? It was China.
Yes.
I was turning 30 when I went to China.
Okay.
And I got my first DSLR camera when I turned 30. And I went on tour with a bunch of actors who always want to be photographed.
Of course.
And they're stunning, so why wouldn't
you?
Why wouldn't Caroline Bowman want pictures all the time? I mean, come on. So yeah, I went to China and I started just playing around with camera. And then when I came back, I invested in the setup. And I started, I went to Mexico right after China. And my good friend, Oscar Ponce, he is a fantastic photographer in Mexico. And he mentored me, and like he's allowed me to be around when he was doing photo shoots. And I think most of what I learned initially was from him. And yeah, and then I came back and started playing photography, and it was a little bit before Instagram kind of took over. So I kind of created a name for myself before then. And I did a couple of exhibits here in New York that were super fun to curate and put together. I was part of an exhibit in Paris.
Casual. Yeah.
The exhibit was at the Louvre. It's kind of crazy.
Oh,
I know.
okay. Now we're
crazy.
gonna pause. Now we're gonna pause. What were these like portraits of people?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a portrait. I thought I had a print, but I don't have a print of it. But it's in a book
Okay.
of all the pictures that won that contest. And yeah, it's a great photo of that.
amazing.
It was really exciting. I didn't get to go, but I have the book.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was really cool. That was
Yeah.
really cool. So that's how photography came around.
Okay.
And then just adding to, you didn't ask me this, but I'm going to
Please.
volunteer that
Yes.
information. I was doing freelance photography for Playbill.
Okay.
And then their video person was leaving. And the editor-in-chief at the time asked me, do you have any interest in taking over the video? And I was like, yeah. Absolutely. And I had done video editing, but I'd never in a bigger scale professionally. But one of the things that I learned from that experience is that it takes one person to trust you and your abilities and your character to make a big change in your life, because that completely redefined where I was going in my career. So then I was a director of video production at Playbill for 5 years, and it was the best playground because I had carte blanche to do whatever I wanted. I created a bunch of series, and I did the musical performances in the studio, and I did like lighting design in the studio. And then that led me to New York One, which now leads me to my current position as the senior producer at CUNY TV. So it's, yeah, one person to say like, you know what? I think you know what you're doing. Go and do it.
Okay, so this is, we have not talked about this. My husband sent me a video of Hoda Kotb, Today's Show. We love her so much. And she was telling a story of how when she first got started, she was driving from news station to news station with her VHS tape of her, all of her reel and thing. And news director after news director was like, sorry, no, that's just, you're not for us. And she ended up in somewhere in Mississippi. And the news director came out and was like, you know what? I was the sports director and they just promoted me to news director today. How are you? And she was like, oh, this is a little different. Okay. Played her tape. And he was like, you know what? You got what we're looking for. And she's like, it just takes the one person.
Yep.
That's all it takes. And now Today's Show. Like, you know, it's just so I need to hear that. I need to hear that right now. So thank you. That was very nice.
And listen, and one of the things that I like the most about being in this position now is that I can't maybe do that for someone else.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and like someone who hasn't had the door open before and I want to do that. Like
Absolutely. And the other thing you said several times in that story is playing with what we are doing right now. There's no better way to learn it than do it and just like do it wrong, do it right, learn from your mistakes. And we talked about mistakes we've made before we started. Like it's just, so what has been do you have a memory of doing video photography where you were like, I crushed that or, oh no, like I have royally messed this up. Royally.
Well, I told you the story off camera, but I'm going to share it because
perfect.
it was terrifying.
The worst feeling in the world.
Yes. I was doing a shoot and I think it might have been a sponsored situation. I don't know if anyone at Playbill figured it out, but now they're going
to know. Mm-hmm.
So we were doing a promotional shoot. It was something about the Tonys, but it was Beth Level and Josh Lehman.
Yes.
From the prom. It was that long ago. That's why I'm comfortable sharing this because it's way in the past. And we did the photo shoot. And the video shoot. And of course, I wanted to be super extra because we've covered that. So 3 cameras, and they didn't usually do that at Playbill. So 3 cameras, and you know they had like proper lavaliers and setup, and like a talk show kind of situation. And literally, as soon as I was saying goodbye to Beth Level, and she's walking out, and I'm like, "Bye, Beth. See you next time." And I look down, and I never pressed record on the Zoom recorder, the audio recorder. And the only sound that I had was a tiny little GoPro that was set up for the wide shot. That was the only sound that I had. And I wanted to cry. And then since then on, like I learned how important sound is for a video. You can have the prettiest looking lighting if the audio in your video sucks,
it's over. I will skip it immediately. It is truly one of my biggest pet peeves is like, yeah, it can look stunning. You had all the right settings. The lighting was mwah. But if it sounds like you're talking in a tin can through some tin foil.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing it. And it is the worst because you honestly, if like you're seeing right now, it's just the 2 of us. There's no one else here behind the camera. And so I'm just trusting that I've set everything up correctly, you know, like, and I'm seeing it all and it looks great.
It's flashing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there have been times where I get back and I'm like, I don't know what I did, but I didn't do it right. And man, does it just crush you.
Yes. Particularly when you have invested, like if we didn't record this right now, it'd be like, oh my God, we're idiots.
Correct.
We didn't do it.
We can do it again. Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
When are you free again? I'm busy. I'm a New Yorker. But when you've had 2 Broadway stars come, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Broadway stars or not, whomever, when you've wasted their time for shitty sound.
And it's your job. Like it's what you're getting paid to do.
Yeah.
Oh, it is just gut wrenching. Oh, that makes me. But again, we've learned.
Yeah.
We've lived, we've learned.
And then the other times that I felt like I crushed it, I think I showed you this video.
Yes.
But I used to do performances in the studio. And because it's Playbill, I wanted to be theatrical and I wanted to have like theater lighting and haze and proper sound mixing. And so I built the studio at Playbill was my playground, and I built like a little like black box theater.
Yes.
And so the wonderful Erica Henningsen came in and sang a song when she was doing Joy at George Street Playhouse in New Jersey. And it was a 2-camera shoot, and one camera was on a gimbal and the other one was a steady shot. And the video looks so good and she sounds incredible.
Yes.
And it looks like you're in a theater. And I feel like that set the bar for me. For like, I want everything to look like this. Yeah, that was a very fun time.
It's I'll try to find a clip, or I'll link it so you can watch this for yourself, because
So
like
good.
there's even like you have like cued lights, like you have light cues in this video.
I always asked for the song in advance. I mean, and if I knew the song, if someone was coming in to sing Stars from Les Mis, like I know
Right.
that song, so I can cue it. And like I taught myself lighting design. I also, when I say I taught myself, I also want to acknowledge that all these things, I'm so grateful to the very generous, talented people like Oscar Ponce, the photographer, Sean Meehan, the videographer, who like taught me everything I know about video, lighting designers who came in and spent time with me being like, okay, so this is how you do it, and blah, 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 blah. And I would like text them like, hey, I'm having this issue. So all those people who trusted me and generously gave me their time, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope I can pay that forward and do the same for someone who's learning.
Absolutely. And I think that's what I love about like the creative community here in New York. There are so many people that are willing to like share what they know in great ways and like help you become a better insert whatever you want here.
Yeah.
Like it is so nice. And I've seen it kind of here and there. So it's very exciting to like be here now and like experience it. It's just so cool. And I did find out at our coffee date, one of the things that I loved growing up that you had a hand in was Playbill the Game Show. I loved watching that and I remember watching like episode to episode, and it upscaled every, like the like scoreboard got cooler, the background, like everything, just like every time I watched. What went into creating, because I can only imagine like game shows that we all know and love that have been around for decades, the like thought that has to go into all of that. What was that like for you?
Oh my God, that's my baby. I loved doing Playbill the Game Show.
Bring it back.
Yes.
We'll co-host. Yeah. We'll co-host.
So I got to work. Writing the show was an incredibly satisfying and fun process. I worked with one of my favorite collaborators, Aaron Fuchsa. We just like laughed and geeked out about theater, and it was fantastic. Our host was fantastic, Felicia Fitzpatrick, who was the social media manager at Playbill. And she was so great.
So good.
We laughed a million times. Oh my gosh. I have to...
Please. Yes.
Sorry. We had the cast of the off-Broadway production of The Play That Goes Wrong. We had them come in and play. And I was like, I have to do something that goes wrong in the episode. So, like, we planned, like, the sign would fall off, right? And then at one point, one of the contestants' phone started ringing.
Yes.
And she like picks it up and she's like, oh, sorry. And I just kept rolling. But this was planned. Felicia didn't know. And you can see her face being like, oh, like, and then it clicks that it's a joke. Yes, it's a bit. I love a bit. And yeah, that's one of my favorite episodes. But yeah, Playbill the Game Show grew to a level that people like knew how to do it. It was a big, that someone's here.
It's happening.
People knew it. All the press reps and all the shows knew what it was. It was a big lift for me because I was a one-man band.
Right.
So building the set and printing the flashcards and doing the light cues and keeping tally on how many points and all of that was a lot, but it was so satisfying. And then we tried to like elevate it a little bit more every time. So our podiums used to be music stands with foam core at the front, right? But then my fantastic, talented friend, Michael Lee Scott. He used to work as an art director at the Wendy Williams show.
Okay.
He built a lot of their sets for Broadway Cares, for all their big events. And we knew each other, and then he reached out to me and said, hey, my mother is turning 80 and I would love to do a big photo shoot with her. Would you do this? And I was like, oh, this is great. Can we like trade, and like how much would you charge me to build podiums? But I want the podiums to be collapsible because we don't have storage space, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, oh, you don't need to pay anything. Like, we'll trade it. And he built this like amazing, sturdy, yellow podiums that like folded to like this big.
Yes.
And they were like sturdy pieces, like set pieces with like a little like casing for the light for the buzzer.
Yes.
They looked fantastic. If you look to like the latest episodes of the Play Build the Game show, you'll see it there.
Okay.
And again, like people wanting to play and wanting to collaborate and wanting to like give their talents. That's such an invaluable thing to have as a resource.
Yes.
But yeah, Play Build the Game show was so fantastic. And one of my dreams was to have a live version of it with like Broadway stars playing,
Yes.
and the performances. And we never got to do that, but we did get to do a version of the play. We did an episode of the Play Build the Game show live in Times Square. Yeah, and the contestants are Julia Murney, Nick Rouleau, and Shireen Pimentel.
Okay.
And the host is the wonderful Chris Sieber.
Yes.
That is also on the YouTube, Play Build YouTube channel. It's so fun.
Okay.
It's so fun. Oh, and actually, Nicholas Connell, who is the music director of Titanic, he is playing, because we had them like guess the songs.
Of course.
So he would play the songs live.
Oh, you had a keyboard out there
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yes.
It's a great episode. Check it out.
Where were you set up in Times Square?
Like in the middle of time, there was a big stage. So Playbill used to do like a big outdoor thing. I can't remember what it was. Was it for Pride? No, it wasn't for Pride. It was sometime in September.
Okay.
And they used to do like 3 days in Times Square, and there was a big stage, and there were like 3 days of performances and sponsored activations, as they say.
Amazing.
And one of them was Play Build the Game show.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun.
I love that. I've always thought hosting a game show would be a lot of fun. So if anybody's looking for co-host, single host, I'm ready. You just let me know. And then, so Playbill for 5 years.
Yes,
5
I was a
years.
player for 5 years.
And then
through the pandemic.
Okay. What was that like for you? I visited New York for literally 24 hours during the pandemic, walked through Times Square and didn't touch a person. Yeah. Like it was the weirdest experience ever.
It was terrifying.
I bet.
Those first days of the pandemic, those first few weeks were like, oh, this is fun. We're working from home.
Right.
Ha, ha, ha. We're coming back soon. Blah, blah, blah. We didn't know what we were in for. It's the busiest I've ever been.
Really?
Because everything went digital, right? So we produced like 8 virtual concerts.
Whoa.
So we did that was March. So I can't remember. Like Pride came around, and what were the other ones? Women's History Month, and every holiday there was a Playbill concert, and we produced all of that.
Okay.
And this guy edited everything. So, but then I think it became a big lift because we were doing this massive, and now they're going to sing One Day More, and it's 75 people who sent 75 little videos, all in different resolutions. So my computer was just like, oh, what's happening?
And then you have to line all of that up.
Yeah. It was a lot. But then that got me a gig with the New York Gay Men's Chorus.
Yes.
So I directed their holiday concert that year. And then because everything used to be like a Zoom box, right? Like
Right.
you remember those, like everything looked the same. So I was like, I'm bored with this. Like no one is watching this anymore. We can't go anywhere, but no one is watching it.
Right.
Because everything looks the same. So I started getting fancy and I produced, along with my dear friend Javier Vilalta, who I went to school with in Mexico, we produced a virtual concert of one of my favorite shows, which is Anjou. If you know me, you've heard me talk about Anjou because I'm obsessed. Anjou, A Tale of Horror.
Ooh.
It's a Mexican musical
Okay.
based on the life of Catherine de Medici and her son Henry III. So it's based in historical events. It's very dark. I always say if Evita and Sweeney Todd had a baby, it would be Anjou.
Okay.
And we did a virtual concert of it. I recruited this incredible cast that included Caroline Bowman.
Of course.
Included Austin Colby, Julia Murney, J. Armstrong Johnson, Jelani Remy, Jonathan Burke, Adam Roberts, Shireen Pimentel, myself. But my whole point about with doing this show is that we could create other things that didn't look like a Zoom box, because what I did is I sent everyone the same backdrop.
Okay.
And then I gave them very specific instructions of like, okay, so this song you're gonna sing to the camera, but just like off to the side. So then you're gonna video the same thing, but with the camera like facing the other way. So the front and the back. So then I lined everything up so it looked like they were in the same room.
Yes.
It's very wild. It's very wild. It's crazy to think that this was before there even was a vaccine. And it looks like they're in the same room. And it was directed by John McDaniel, who was the music director for the Rosie O'Donnell show.
Okay. Yeah.
And I love this show so much. I think it's a great example of how Latinos don't always have to write about immigration, the family, the drug cartels. Those are great stories, but that's not our only narrative as Latinos. We can also write a show. It's not my show. The show is written by Guillermo Mendez and Lupita Sandoval, but it's a show about a French queen and her. It's about the human experience, right? And that's where we all connect. And also, anyone can play these roles.
Yes.
It doesn't. They don't have to look like Catherine. They don't look like Henry. So that's why my cast included 5 different Catherines, because again, it was like a concert.
Yes.
So my Catherines were Bianca Marroquin, Taylor Mann Jones, who crushed it, Julia Murney, Christy Dale Sanders, and missing one, and I don't want to miss one, but I'm gonna remember, and I'm gonna go back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all look different, and they all brought something different to the performance, and I feel like as Latinos, I feel like that's what we need to be able to. Yes, we need to tell our stories, but we also can see ourselves in other stories, right? Like, we're not a monolith of culture, it's we all are humans.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Can we watch this anywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
It's also on the Playbill YouTube channel.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So if you look up Anjou, Playbill,
can you spell Anjou for us?
Anjou.
Okay, I would have gotten that right.
Yeah.
Spelling, not my forte. Elementary school, I cried every Thursday night getting ready for spelling tests. So I was, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's
Okay.
so good. If I have like pie in the sky, I would love to produce this show with like Taylor Mann Jones as Catherine. You need to go and listen to her. Because she crushed it. She's incredible. She's incredible.
I know what I'm watching tonight.
Yeah.
Great. I've got
She's
my
amazing.
Perfect.
And Most importantly about that we did it as a benefit for Broadway Cares.
Okay.
And we raised in 1 hour over $28,000.
Whoa.
I could not believe it. I was like in tears watching this because when you set up your fundraising, you have to set a limit, right? It's like, what's the goal? And I was like, I don't know, like $3,000. And then like 10 minutes in, we already surpassed it by like a lot. And my friends at Broadway Cares were like, do you want to raise it? And it's like, yeah, but like to how much?
Right.
Like 7. And I was like, that in 2 seconds, like immediately. It was so satisfying, and it was great. It was great. So if any producers are looking for a show that has Latin representation, great music, a million options for production, like that show can be done in a black box, it can be done conceptual, it can be done immersive. Like, you talk to me, my contact in
We'll have it all. Have no fear. Have no fear. It'll all be there. It'll all be there. So we do play Bill. We do some amazing work, and then we move to New York One on stage, which is kind of how I think, not realizing it, but where I first saw your work was this incredible interview for Maybe Happy Ending with their stage manager. I had no idea that this was you until our coffee date. I watched that and I was like, this is what I want to do. So tell me a little bit about how you ended up there, and then what your time was like there.
Loved my time at New York One. I wasn't looking to leave Playbill, and Frank DeLella, the host of On Stage, slid into my DMs, and he's like, hey, do you have a moment to talk? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we talked, and he's like, well, we're rebuilding our team, and I think you should apply for this position. You know, you're in the industry. We like your work, blah, blah, blah. You're a great fit. So I did, and I applied, and I got the job. And it was fantastic. It was fantastic. It was very different because I was working for like a news organization, right? But they allowed me to bring a little bit like more creativity and more flexibility to the editing, and definitely the stories that we were telling. And then that video that you're referring to is an anatomy of a scene style video that I did with Justin Scribner, who we love, who is the production stage manager of Maybe Happy Ending, which I love the show. So in the video, you hear him introduce himself and talk a little bit about what he's done and how his relationship with the show. And then we see him calling the show, but then in a split screen, you see the scene that he's calling. And then at the bottom, you see the script, the calling script. So you see all the cues and all the prompts. And it was fascinating. It was so fun to shoot. It was really great to bring that inside and to show that, yes, the Broadway community, the theater community, is a community not only with the talent and the faces that you see. It takes so much and so many people and trust. Like, I learned early on in my career that yes, you can be the star of the show, but someone needs to open that curtain, right? And like, you need to trust that they're going to open the curtain at the right time, and that the light is going to be, and that the sound is going to be right. And we all need to trust that we're all doing our job. So it's a really trust-based profession,
absolutely.
Right? And I wanted to bring that to the table, and I wanted to showcase that. And I feel like that's what I look for in storytelling. That's what I want to show, the stories that aren't told so often. And also putting myself in that position of learning and getting a like behind the scenes look at how things are done.
Yes, absolutely. I'm a little biased. My husband is a stage manager, so like, I have learned so much about what goes on backstage. I was on tour for 9 months, so I got to learn a lot of just like audio and props and set and just it's company management. Like, there are so many careers that happen that I just don't think people are aware of. It's not that, it's just because it takes a village. I don't even know if village is the right word. It takes such a group of people to make just one show happen.
Yeah.
And it is amazing, all of the pieces that have to come together, and you trust that they're going to come together at the exact moment they're supposed to, so that that person can sing their song. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
Is there another story you look back on from your time at On Stage that you're like really excited about, or you want people to go like check out and see?
I think that story is a great story. Excuse me. And in the same kind of style of like in their own voice, I did a story about congestion pricing and the Broadway community.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Again, like trying to get like the insider, like the business kind of sides of the show.
Yes.
So Mary Dorman-Fenniff is an incredible cello player. You might know her because she's the cello you hear in a million things, but most importantly, The Last 5 Years.
Oh, super casual.
Bridges of Madison County.
Right.
So that's her.
Yeah. Okay.
She's incredible. I went to a 54 Below show. It was Norbert Leo Butz.
Yes.
And went to his show, and he went around introducing everyone in the band. And when he's like, we have on the cello, Mary Dorman-Fenniff, and she starts playing the beginning of The Last 5 Years. And I was at a concert. I screamed. And then after the show, I went up to her and was like, I love your work. And then I got to work with her, and I did a video with Playbill, blah, 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 blah. But she lives, I can't remember where she lives, but during the pandemic, the train that took her to her home, her husband is also a musician, a Broadway musician. During the pandemic, that schedule changed, so they didn't have a train. So now, both they had to drive in, and if they were in different shows, like it just became such a big thing. And I just wanted to show that. Not that she was against congestion pricing, but she was against not having the schedule back, right? So I wanted to show that part of the story, and it turned out it was a great piece. I went to her house and I rode with her from her house to, she was playing at Gatsby. I think she's still there.
Okay.
She left for a little bit. She did Floyd Collins, but then she might be back.
Okay.
But yeah, I just love having that time to chat with them and allowing them to tell their sides of the story.
Yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So 3 years there, some incredible work. And now just the beginning of this year, we're now at CUNY,
Yes,
which is so exciting. Another theater-centric show going on.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about what's happening there.
So I am now the senior producer of Theater All the Moving Parts, hosted by Patrick Pacheco. Patrick Pacheco is a theater journalist, writer, she helped Chita Rivera write her memoir. Which is,
yeah,
casual.
Easy.
So anytime Patrick has a story, I'm always like, tell me everything. Tell me all the tea. Tell me all the tea. I have all the questions, and always, he always has a story that I'm always hungry for. Just like, tell me all of them. So yes, it's very exciting to be able to have a little bit more control and editorial control on the show, and the CUNY TV people have been incredibly warm and welcoming, and I feel so valued. I'm gonna cry. I feel so valued and validated, and because like, yes, these are great, like, but at the end of the day, like, the fact that people believe in your work and that's the most rewarding experience, and for all the hard work that I've put in all these years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for those listening, Bobby was just pointing to the 3 Emmys behind him. That's all it is. But you're so right. It is like, an award is incredible. And like, let's not, breeze past that.
100%.
It is incredible. But the people you work with day to day who are there seeing you struggle and, figure out the mishaps and how do I fix this?
Yeah.
And having that confidence and belief in you so you can keep doing it day to day is worth its weight in gold. Like it is truly just the best. Like, you have the support, the backing, the love, and the respect that like I can come here every day and do this. And no matter what we are putting things out that we're proud of. And that's all we want.
100%. And I definitely, I want to continue telling those stories, and I want to continue bringing different voices to the show. And, again, there are so many talented people putting in the time that you want to be able to showcase them and give them a platform for their work to grow. And yes, so if you're listening, if you're watching, go to the CUNY TV YouTube channel and subscribe, and you'll see all of our episodes twice a month.
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be great.
So excited. You've already worked on some episodes that have come out?
Yes.
Okay.
We just released our spring preview roundtable. The first part is all the musicals.
Okay.
All 6 of them.
I was going to say it's a smaller spring season this year.
It's very
demure.
focused.
Yeah.
Demure. Yeah. So that episode is out.
Okay.
It's fantastic. We have as our guest Deep Tron, who is the editor-in-chief at Playbill.
Okay.
We have Adam Feldman, the chief theater critic at Time Out New York.
Okay.
And Jesse Green, who is the culture correspondent at the New York Times.
Wow. Come on, memory. That's impressive.
Thank you. I've wrote it many times in scripts and all that. So yeah. So yes, we have them.
Okay.
And then March 13, our episode for plays comes out, which is bad.
A monster. Yes.
And I'm so excited for so many things that are coming out. But yeah, and then we're doing a couple. I don't want to say
No spoilers.
more.
No spoilers.
No.
Go subscribe.
But yes, go check them out. It's really great, and we're really cooking some new things. Just spice it up a little bit.
I can't wait. Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. And you kind of hinted at this, but are there stories you're hoping to tell, or stories you think need to be told more often, either from on stage, like being in a show, whether it's a play or a musical, or just from like a more news side of things, just giving people the information? Are there types of stories you wish more people knew about or were being told in some way?
I think I have to go back to the amount of work it takes to put a show together. Because I think this is like personal trauma maybe, but because we're singing and dancing, it just feels like, it's just so easy. You're just singing and dancing. It's not work. So that's why I like showing what it takes, right?
Yes.
I have so many ideas and I want to say, but I don't want to give them away.
Correct. Yeah, no, we're not. I mean?
But I want to show people what it takes. I want to show people on every side, like what the musician side goes through and the design team. And I think that's what I want to put more focus on, and of course continue talking about the incredible talent that the people who are on the stage, but also the faces we don't see every day.
Yeah. Ooh, I love the faces we don't see every day. I love that. Yeah. Yes, because if you've ever seen a show, when I tell you almost every footstep, every paintbrush stroke, every small light to big light you see has been chosen for a reason, and like someone has thought through why they're holding that bag and why they put that hat on, and why it's incredible the amount of work it takes, like you said, to put a show together. And sometimes they've been working on it for a decade plus. Like years of people's lives go into these things.
I just worked on a piece for Broadway News actually with Ruthie Fierberg, and in a span of 3 days, we can see how a wig is built on someone. Whoa. From like measuring the head and how it's measured, and how like they mark like where your like little hairs on your hairline are, like with a marker, and then how hair by hair the wig is ventilated.
Come on, terminology.
Yeah.
Okay.
I edited the video. Know how the way, like, they saw hair by hair and
Yes.
like in which direction, and if if this is covering you, the wig, the hair is covering your eyebrow, then that doesn't help because you need to see eyebrows when you're acting, and like a million things that you never think about when you go see a show, or even when you do a show that, like, it's a regional show and they're just grabbing wigs out of a box,
Right.
and it's like, this one fits, great, that's great,
Next.
wear that one. But when you're building a show from the ground, it really takes a lot of thought behind everything, and since these people are truly artisans at what they do, like, they put all the effort and all their being into making these things, and that's why you sometimes end up paying the big bucks for going to see a show, and that's why it ends up being expensive, which is the double-edged sword of this industry, right?
Which is a hard conversation to have because, like, yes, you want it to be accessible and you want people to see
backing
it.
away slowly.
That is but there are also many ways to see a show at a discounted rate.
Oh my gosh, there's so many.
Check those out.
Yes.
It is great. Like, it is out there. You do have to do a little digging sometimes, but it is definitely available to you.
And I always say when people are coming, we've established I'm from Mexico,
Right.
so I have lots of friends who come, like, oh, so I'm gonna see this show, but, like, I'm just gonna buy tickets on StubHub, and I always say, go to the box office first.
Yes.
Box office, you don't have to pay the service fees. You can talk to a person. Sometimes, because it's a hard job to do, sometimes it can be a little guarded.
Yes.
But most of them are willing to talk to you and, like, what do you need? What, like, if you go saying, I want a seat that is not more than that $175, they'll be able to point that out and, like, help you out.
Yes.
So I think the box office is the best.
Box office for sure. If you're here in the city for a while, the TKTS
is great
too. And then there's a new app called Theater.
Not
app, sponsored,
yes.
but THEATR. People can resell their tickets, but they can't sell it for more than they bought it for. So that is. And I've seen some shows thanks to them. So you can set, like, notifications and you can set a price scale, and it's great. So there are ways to see shows.
100%.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. And speaking of putting your whole being into things, you, my friend, are working on a new piece. Tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Okay, so I'm very, 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 very lucky. I'm very fortunate to be working with Welcome to Campfire.
Okay.
Welcome to Campfire is an immersive theater dance company founded by Ingrid Kaptein and Tony Bordonaro. I think they both were original cast of Sleep No More.
Yeah.
So immersive theater. If you know something, another thing to know about me, I love Aida. I love Sharon Scott and Heather Headley and immersive theater.
Amazing. Amazing.
So yes, immersive theater. And, I saw Sleep No More a number of times.
Sure.
And I knew their work. And then I reconnected with Tony when he was doing Life and Trust.
Yes.
Short-lived Life and Trust. And then we did a photo shoot together and we really hit it off. And then he brought me in to do a film of their previous piece called Subject.
Okay.
So we did a film that premiered in London. I had a great time working with them because they truly, again, just trust. Completely trusted my vision. They liked what they saw. And then they invited me to be a part of their new piece that is going to be premiering in May.
Okay.
Mid-May in a performance space in Midtown, to be announced soon. And the name of the piece is Chalk Outline Portal.
Okay.
And it's a piece that mixes live performance and video and audience interaction.
I do love an audience interaction.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not like they're gonna bring you up on stage and make you do a silly dance. Like there are ways in which the audience is going to be able to get involved and really determine the outcome of the piece. It's really great. It's really great.
Ooh, I love this. So what's your role in it? Are you performing? Are we going to see you? Are you been behind the scenes? Love it all?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Because we're going to release a documentary of a full week we spent over the summer at the Mercury shop.
Okay.
Mercury store in Brooklyn, and we literally built the piece from nothing.
Okay.
We got there. There was a musician, and there was a sound designer, and two dancers, and me. And the music was being written in the moment and recorded in the moment, and then we'd see what worked. And it was the first time that I've worked in something where the process is what's important, not the result. And it's fascinating to have that freedom and that liberty of bringing in literally anything you want, and it ends up in the piece. So we're going to release that documentary to illustrate what we went through.
Yes.
But now in the piece, I am in the piece as a character, as an observer, with a camera. So not only are you seeing me in the piece, but also seeing what I want to show the audience.
Yes.
And that's so informative and just changes your perspective of the piece and the feeling, you know? So it's fascinating and really fun. And
I'm so excited.
I love working with them too. It's just, they're lovely. And again, just creative people who embrace other creative people.
Incredible. Bringing a little real life Bobby to the,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Well, Bobby, we are, I think, running a little short on time. But before I leave this amazing setup you have done for me, and thank you again. This is incredible.
This is just like how we live, you know?
It's just always, always ready. The last question I'm asking everyone: why do you think storytelling is so important?
I think storytelling is very important because when you hear other people's stories, you tend to learn that we're not that different. Mm-hmm. I feel like we focus a lot on the things that set us apart. And when we really pay attention and when we really dive into other people's experiences and stories, you realize that, you know what, we all have dreams and aspirations and trauma, and we have, and it's not that dissimilar. So I think that's one of the things that I like to bring into my storytelling, to see that reflect other people in the stories that I'm telling.
Yes, absolutely. I think I discovered that very quickly when we grabbed coffee. We have so many similar, like there are just, I think, and in the world, I think we all have so much more in common than we think.
100%.
And if we would just realize that, everything would just calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think everyone would just feel better. We could all take a sigh of relief. So look for that. Look for the similarity. It's so much easier. It's so much easier. You'll
100%.
feel better. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Well, Bobby, you have some amazing stories, and I know there's more, and we're going to have to do this again because this has been great. But if we want to follow along, if we want to see your amazing work, photography, videography, things you have coming up, where do we go for all of that?
I think the safest place is Instagram at Roberto Araujo Photography, ROBERTO ARAUJO Photography. That's where I'm more active, and I document everything I do, from the professional to the love for my little kitty cats, Paco and Lola. Shout out to Paco and Lola.
We love. I got to meet them today.
Yeah.
I got to meet them today finally. Yes, and make sure again you're following Stories on Tape, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you're listening, wherever you're watching. We are there. Bobby, this has been fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your stories today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fantastic.